All the talk around the Australian Open this year, of course, is about the conditions, and Novak Djokovic has alluded to the fact that he considers them the fastest conditions in 15 years of coming to Melbourne. So the players are going to have to adapt. One player that perhaps doesn't need to adapt as much is Ash Barty. She possesses one of the game's great slice backhands on both the men's and the women's tour. And just here is an illustration of just how slick the courts are. Almost a 20-centimetre difference in terms of the ball bounce as it's getting to the opponents this year for Ash. But it's not just the slice staying low, it's also about the flexibility to disguise that shot gives her in terms of pulling the opponent in to the net on her terms. The only word of caution I would say is that she's probably drifting the ball a little bit too much cross-court. She's not using the one down the line. We just showed you the one drop shot that she hit in her match where she won 6-love, 6-love. But too many balls cross-court. Gavrilova may be waiting for her. Another champion in second round action is Rafael Nadal, and of course he needed to adapt because we weren't sure exactly how he was feeling physically. He was talking about a lower back injury. Coming into 2020 last year, we were talking about a new service motion and how he was going to get a little bit more out of it, but clearly that was going to be a problem. And even for Rafa, he has to adapt with his own game to these conditions, and he did it beautifully with his serve. Although he didn't have quite the power that he normally does, he moved it around so that he could get his forehand into play as the first shot afterwards, and he came with huge power off that particular stroke when he played. As you can see here on the ad side, being a lefty, he was able to slide the ball out there, pull his opponent off the court, and then what's that going to do when you pull your opponent off the court on the ad side? It's going to leave you an awful lot of space to go down the line, and it was just sort of regular, routine Rafa style tennis, and that's what he does, repeatable. So this is excellent accuracy from the Spaniard as well. I can promise you that. When I talk about pace, let's just take a look at his serve. Let's have a look at the numbers. And as I said, coming into 2020 in Australia, the new motion, he was up at 180. That's quick for Rafa over the course of his career, and 100 miles an hour on average on his second. Back injury, had to drop off the pace with that first serve by 7 miles an hour, but he placed it so well, he was able to get his forehand into play. And when he got his forehand into play, he absolutely crushed it. Look at this, 80 miles an hour. Last year, obviously, a run through to the final was at 76, 75. Not only did he up the pace on the forehand side with that accuracy that we saw from the Hawkeye graphic, but also on his backhand side at 78. It's going to have to be Michael Mmoh who's going to have to adapt to the Spaniard's pace.